Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Holton Talks. You're joined today by me, Scott, and Jamie. Jay, you okay?
No, good man. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Feeling a bit better, so that's always a good thing. We're looking back at the game against Forest yesterday. You were there. I wasn't because I'm away this week. 3-1 victory. Thoughts on the game? How was it up there?
Slippery for anyone walking in around Villa Park. It was very slippery. They didn't grit everywhere. But actually inside the ground, atmosphere weren't great at all. I don't know if you heard the Watkins thing, but he kind of mentioned about it. The atmosphere wasn't the best, but taking all things into consideration, 12:30 kickoff, which always, unless you're playing one of the big boys, isn't the best time for a game. Obviously, people coming off a night shift, people hungover, or it's just early, so people whereas you have a night game under lights, there's naturally a better atmosphere. So you're always going to get that of half 12 games. But then also the thing that I think that Villa fans are forgetting is that, which I was kind of forgetting as well while I was in the moment, and I kind of thought at half time, was that we're at a level now where we are, especially at home, statistically the best team in Europe. I don't know if you saw the percentage stat that was going. I think I actually put it in the group chat, didn't I? Yeah. We are the best team at home in Europe, right? Factually, from this year. So when you're playing a team that are very, very close to the relegation zone, albeit, they're a European side this season, but they're not great at all. And I'll say that they are the worst team I've seen so far at Villa Park this season. It's hard to get up for a game when you're playing the game, and we had 81% possession in the first half. Nothing was really happening. It wasn't like no challenges were flying in. They were just getting it, trying to hit Igor Jesus and turn us, which you're leaving him a job that he couldn't do because he had 2 or 3 Villa players on him at every time. So it was hard for crowd to get up for it. It's not like it's end to end and challenges are flying in, or we're against one of the big boys and we're kind of penned in and hitting them on the counter, because then you can kind of you can be up for it. But when the other team was just sitting back, it was very, very hard. There was nothing really happening. It was just Villa keeping the ball. So it was actually quite boring that first half. I don't know if boring is the right word, but you know where I'm coming from. I think that can obviously explain for the atmosphere, because like I said, the atmosphere wasn't the greatest. And yeah, it's not even strange because it's what I expected. I remember there was a game a couple of years ago that I didn't go up to because I had something else going on. But in my head, I said in our chat, I was like, it's a 12:30 game, so I know the atmosphere ain't going to be that great anyway. And unless you're like Arsenal at home the other week, that would have been obviously a good atmosphere because you're playing a team that you're vying for certain positions for. Whereas when you're playing against a team that they had under 200 passes yesterday, and we had 800 and something, I think. So it's just like, it's just like I said, it's just hard to kind of get yourself up for a game like that.
12:30 kickoffs are just, like you said, unless you're playing one of the big boys, they are hard. It's early starts for most people. Like us going, we'd be at the house at like 5:30. So like, it's a long old day. I think, our Villa fans starting to forget, like, I don't know, we're getting a bit greedy and we just expect to break teams down. I think Villa still struggle to actually break teams down, and we kind of should expect now, unless it's an Arsenal or a City, Chelsea, or teams like that, teams are just going to come and sit with 10 behind the ball. And we obviously play at a certain pace where we're quite slow, and then, I don't know, Tielemans or someone like that will speed it up every, 5 minutes, something like that, where it's not constant. You can't play at that high speed all the time. You've got to mix it up. I messaged Dad after about half an hour and said, because obviously I was watching it on TV, we need to score now because we had such domination. And then I think after about half an hour, Forest had a couple of, I wouldn't say half chances. I think Hutchinson had that one where he cut inside on his left foot. It was a comfortable save for him. But they were just slowly starting to not get a foothold's the wrong word, but they were starting to kind of get a little bit more joy. And then obviously Ollie goes and sticks one in the top corner, which doesn't score many goals from outside the box, does he? So for him to even take the shot on, obviously shows he's a bit more confident in what he has been throughout most of the season. I think Kamara does well header. I think it's Anderson volleys the Kamara does well to win the header. Tielemans with a nice little pass on the turn to Morgan, and then you just don't expect that from Ollie, do you? Really, that kind of goal.
Nah, it was the shift and shoot. Like I thought it was because I didn't think he had that great of a game yesterday. I thought his link-up play was off yesterday. It's so many sloppy balls. I can think of a couple off the top of my head, but when he got,
I didn't think he was great yesterday. He, for some reason, he still looks when he's got quite a lot of time. He loses the ball. He can like quite loose with it.
I know, and it's just like I'm never confident when he's running at a player.
No.
But yeah, he hasn't got like yesterday. He had that shift and shoot, which he had 2 seasons ago. Like even like if you remember, like West Ham at home, he beat them 4-1.
Yeah.
It's like that fourth goal I think we scored where.
Bang.
Yeah, it's like I feel like his goal yesterday was that you just shift it, bang, you know. But for whatever reason, obviously, the knee injury. I say whatever reason, it's the knee injury that he's apparently carrying. But yeah, I didn't think he had that great of a game yesterday, but it was a good shot from outside the box. I was trying to think the last time he scored outside the box. Off the top of my head, first one I thought of was Brighton away. Brighton at home, sorry, when he got the hat trick when we beat him 6-1. I think the one that was deflected where it was McGinn played over the top, he left foot and it deflected and looped over Verbruggen. I think that was the last one off the top of my head, but that is a good 2 seasons ago. So there might be one in between, but I don't know if you
What about the Chelsea lob at Stamford? Or was that past that?
That was the season before, wasn't it? Because the hat trick against Brighton was the circle badge, and the season before was when we qualified for Conference League.
Yeah. Like he doesn't score many, does he? He doesn't.
Nah, it was a very good strike.
Should he save it?
I don't know, because the goalie isn't the best, as we'll probably get onto for the third goal. He's not the best anyway. It's, to be fair, even though he played well against City last week, he ain't the best goalie. But it's because how fast he literally gets it, and none of us expected him to take it, like he says. So for him to shift and shoot like that, he's gone over with his other hand as well. I thought if he goes with his right hand, he probably would have saved it, but he's gone over with his left. I don't know if any keepers watching can kind of put some analysis in the comments, but I don't really understand why he's gone like that, because then he's got fingers to it, whereas if he's gone like that, you can reach. Do you know what I mean? If you're trying to reach that side of it to your right side, you're going to have more of a range of motion with your right hand than what you would do your left, surely. But I mean, that's just me talking as a quite a naive fan when I talk about goalkeepers.
I thought that, and they mentioned that in commentary, that he went with that hand.
Yeah, it was a bit strange.
It was right. I mean, not that we care, but I think it was important that we got the goal and went in at 1-0, because it was utter domination in the first half. And again, Villa of old probably go into half time drawing and then concede an early goal in the second half. I'm going back 4, 5, 6. Excuse me. Before probably Dean Smith days and Emery days. We obviously come out in the second half and get a nice early goal. Good goal again by McGinn. Was the atmosphere a bit better after the second goal?
No, I thought it was quite flat, the atmosphere throughout. I won't lie. But like the McGinn goal definitely kind of settled things for, obviously, before the Gibbs White goal. But it was obviously a well taken goal. And obviously you're missing Cash down that right hand side, so him putting the ball in, I think it was, for McGinn. McGinn making that run into the box, getting ahead of Milenkovic. It was a good finish as well. But yeah, it's good seeing Guinea, add some goals to his game. Obviously, he got a brace yesterday. I think that takes his tally up to 3 for the season. I think he got. Oh no, it isn't, because he got Bologna, he got Fulham. 3 Premier League goals, I think, and then obviously 4 including Bologna. I don't know if he scored in any other games, but it's good. If for example, if he can if he can get, 10 goals this season, that's massive for us. Even if he's just below that, those goals. That's what we missed last season with not having Dougie, because we remember we're always talking about Bailey getting 10 plus goals, Dougie getting 10 plus goals, Diaby getting 10 plus goals. Obviously, Watkins had a brilliant season. If we don't have an out and out goal scorer, so Watkins now chipping in. Marlon had his piece. Rogers chipped in. Buendia had the phaser chipping in. So if McGinn can get a few goals, that'll definitely put us in good stead.
Yeah, it's the first time he scored a brace since the Championship days.
It was against Forest as well, wasn't it?
Against, so
I think that's the only two he's got in his career. I don't think he got any in Scotland either before he arrived at Villa.
No, I think they said he scored a hat-trick for Scotland.
Oh yeah, but I would like club football.
But in terms of club football, the second goal that he scores, I mean, actually, touch on the Forest goal first. I kind of felt like a good finish by Gibbs White. Lindelof maybe cut the ball out, but Villa obviously cruising, and then pretty much like the game itself, it was all about reaction after they scored. I thought we were really good for 10 minutes, just kind of taking a sting out of the game. And then, talk me through the view of the goalkeeper from you for the third goal.
I remember just screaming like, "What's he doing?" It was mad, to be fair, and it was quite funny because as Guinea scored that goal, he's then gone down trying to claim he's had an injury, and I've watched it back and I can't see where he would have got an injury unless it's when he got up. But yeah, he's claiming he's got an injury, but then as soon as he's gone off the pitch, he's walked like he is hobbling off, crying, and as soon as he's got off the pitch, as soon as he crossed the chalk and started going down the Trinity Road track towards the tunnel, he was walking unsupported, and he was walking absolutely fine, like a normal bloke in the street. So it was mad, to be fair, but it was surprising because I thought he had a good game last week against Chelsea. I think the Foden had a really good chance and he made a really good save in the second half in the City game. But yeah, just mad, to be fair. But he looked awful. I think it was even was it before McGinn's goal? He came out to punch the ball, but he's punched it, but he's behind. I don't know who the player was, probably Rogers or Watkins. He's punched it, but he's gambling on the fact of that player missing it. I think it was just before the McGinn goal. I'm thinking that's rough. Like, I was looking at him, I was thinking that I was chatting to maybe Army. I said that ain't this keeper ain't all there, and he does that one as well. But it's funny that he claims the injury as well. But I don't know if Guinea knows too much about it because on the replay he beats the keeper and he doesn't even look up to see where the goal is. He just puts it in, and from my angle, it looked like it was going out. It didn't even look like it was going in. But I would have been fuming because I don't know if you noticed, Watkins was just there and he was shouting for it. So I bet he would have been fuming if he didn't score it. But like I says, overall, well, it's another goal outside the box, and overall a good team performance apart from that Gibbs White slip up.
Yeah, I thought we actually played really well. I don't think not.
I think it was a combination. So it was a combination of Forest being absolutely awful and us being good. Because at the end of the day, if a team sits back, they sit back. It's our job to try and break them down. And I feel like we did. Obviously, we did yesterday, and we were creating chances. I just like Watkins had a chance that in the first couple of minutes. We got in very good areas. I think Murillo pulled off a brilliant tackle. I don't know who it was on in the first half as well. They're defending okay, hence why it was 0-0 in the 45th minute. But we broke them down in the end, and it forces them to come out, which exposed the gaps in behind. But on that goal for McGinn, it was actually good play overall, and Tielemans finding the ball in behind. I don't know if you noticed, there was a phase where Tielemans is on the ball, and Rogers is coming in for the ball, which drags, I think it's Murillo out, and so the two centre halves are front two. So Rogers, Watkins against Murillo and Milenkovic. Rogers comes deep to receive the ball, so Murillo follows him, and Watkins peels wide and does a run out wide, so that drags Milenkovic out. So it just leaves McGinn with Nico Williams. So he just darts in, and that leaves a free massive pocket for Tielemans to ping a ball into. So I don't know if it's something that I'm assuming it's something that they've worked on, but it's really good movement from the two front lads, and obviously McGinn getting the goal.
Yeah, I was going to touch on Tielemans just as an individual performance. They gave man the match to Ollie on to McGinn on Sky, but Yuri, wow, him and Kamara as the two. Anana has been tremendous actually the last 5, 6, 7 weeks. We miss something when he's not in the team, but Tielemans and Kamara as a two are just different gravy. I don't know if you noticed on that goal, Tielemans could play Ollie to start with. He delays, and then plays McGinn. So you're probably right. It's probably something that they've worked on in terms of Ollie spinning, Morgan at the same time dropping deeper, and then one of them making the third run.
Yeah.
And in terms of the goal, he does set it out really wide. You from behind McGinn to the goal, it's outside the post to start with, and I think only creeps him, but he done well just to kind of start and whip it instead of like, normally goals from outside the box like that when the keeper's out, they're normally higher and then obviously dip in, but good technique for the goal.
Yeah.
I thought Forest, we'll just touch on Forest because I wanted to touch on Tielemans and Forest, but Forest were awful. Really come with, like, you could and say if they got into half time at 0-0, they've defended well, but like very different Forest team to obviously last season under Nuno. I know we beat them at Villa Park last year, but they offered quite a lot of threat with Alanga and Hudson-Odoi last season. They had a couple of good chances.
They played really well in the second half. We blitzed them in the first half, and second half they pinned us in. We were holding on the whole of the second half.
Completely different team this season. I know Dyche has obviously taken over mid-season, but very disappointed in them. And your take on Tielemans yesterday? Because, like I said, from where I know sometimes when you're watching it from the whole, you've got a different vantage point. But I know we all think he's class, but honestly, today he just ran the game.
Yeah, him and Kamara together are unbelievable. You can't really beat him and Kamara as value for money, as they're both frees. Kamara was superb. Tielemans was amazing. They complement each other so well. So yeah, it's obviously Tielemans. I thought I had a couple of weeks off, with his performances. So for him to come back and kind of do that sort of performance in the absence of Onana was really good. And yeah, Kamara, how he's not in the French squad, I have no idea. Because they picked the likes of Tchouaméni, and Tchouaméni is god awful. But Forest were absolutely awful. They're the worst team I've seen this season so far. But their squad player for player, it's a borderline European. Like, it's a European side. I think it's a top 8 side. I'd have it above probably Spurs' team because they have so much talent. But worst team I've seen this season come to Villa Park. There was a team last year that I remember telling you that I was like, these are the worst team that have come to Villa Park. And it was last season. I can't remember who it is, but I think this Forest team beats that team. Loses against that team last year because I can't remember last time I walked away from a game thinking the team was as bad as what it was yesterday. They were awful.
Last one before we move on to Palace. What was the reception for Dougie like?
Very good, very very good. Yeah. His song came out. I don't understand why. He must just be a system player. I mean, he was good before Emery came, but obviously Emery elevated him even more. So he might just be a system player. Maybe it just doesn't suit Dyche's system. But I was like, if Dougie, obviously we have a lot of cover in midfield, plus players coming through like Hemmings, etc., and obviously Bogart. But if he was available in the summer for 15 million, would you take him? And me and as he said, yeah, and I said I think I would as well. If obviously you get rid of a Barkley or someone like that, don't think we would because we've got so much depth in midfield. But yeah, he's for us still. If he came back to Villa, he'd be brilliant. Obviously, you got Kamara and Arna, Tielemans, they're the main three. You got Hemmings coming through, which I think has a really good future. Barkley was hitting really good form before he got injured, so I don't think that's a deal we will make, but who knows.
it's a shame, really, isn't it? Because he was so good for us, and then it just goes to show. And Villa have seen it with so many players in the past, like Dougie Benteke when he left was never the same. He should never have gone. Do you know what I mean? Players like that, where Villa fans love them, and they're loved at Villa for what they're doing. And then I'm not saying that they're the same kind of deal. I think Benteke wanted to go. I'm not, but they just fall off a cliff really after.
It's even like Duran. Duran, obviously, I know he
Yeah,
wasn't loved, but he goes from scoring every week to, now he's playing in Turkey. It says enough.
like you've got to weigh your options up really, and is it worth it? Obviously, we think Dougie was more to go for PSR reasons, but
yeah,
good footballer who gave us so many good memories in a Villa shirt that I think it's a shame that he can't even get in the Forest starting 11.
I know it is a shame, but who knows? He might be back one day. Football's a weird old game.
Yeah, that's right. That win obviously currently puts us up to second. City have just kicked off against Chelsea as we are filming this. Liverpool have drawn with Fulham, so we've got a 8-point gap to them, and I think as it stands, an 11-point gap to United, who are fifth. Chelsea can go above them if they beat City. If they were to beat City, we would stay second, which I'm not sure. Would we want a City win or a Chelsea win? Maybe a draw. Who knows? So results have kind of got with us this weekend because United are obviously drawn with Wolves today as well.
Leeds.
Now, yeah, Leeds. Yeah,
That was in the week. Yeah.
Who did I? What did I say?
You said United drawing with Wolves. That was the other day, wasn't it?
Didn't even hear myself say Wolves.
Yeah. To be fair, you might have not even said it, and I've just made myself look like it's Pratt.
So as it stands, results obviously gone our way. At the City Chelsea game, what do you think would be the better result for us, or still too early to kind of that it matters?
It is still early, and if I'm honest, I'm still looking below us than above us. If it's a draw, then that's okay. If I had to pick between obviously Arsenal and City winning it, I hate City with a passion. I've always said Arsenal because I have a few family members that support them, but after how it ended in the 4-1 at the Emirates and them fans giving it large, they hate Villa. So I'm just like, do I want them to win now? Because they're the worst fans in the Premier, in my opinion. So I just don't know if we can bear them winning it. But if I'm honest, I'm so Villa minded. Whatever gets Villa higher up the table is all I'm fussed about. So whether that be us finishing second, finishing first, finishing just inside Champions League places, whatever it means at the time, I'll take. So probably right now, I'll probably say either a City win or a draw, just because I'm still looking further down. If this was game week 34, I would be saying Chelsea win all day long. But we've got a long, long way to go.
Yeah, that's true. And our next game, we're going to just have probably, other than Man United, a big bogey team. We've all seen recent times.
Praying now to the Lords upstairs that we're like.
Well, they've lost today, Palace. They've lost 2-0 to Newcastle.
Shock they've lost today. And what you said the other day, Scotty, what I just said then, sorry, about football's a funny old game. It is, because you're about to say, right, about their winless run. Yep. What is it? How many games?
Well, I've checked, and if I'm right, and I'm pretty sure I am, they've got 1 in 7, which I obviously said I'm on and start recording.
They've not won in 7.
I know exactly what you're about to say in terms of football being a funny old game.
Yeah, and it's just they haven't won in 7. I think their last 2 home games, they've lost to Spurs and they drew to Fulham, or I think it was a 1-1 draw to Fulham. I think I might be wrong on that, but they obviously didn't win against Fulham at home, and they lost to a team full of part timers in the Europa Conference League. They're in the playoff round for that. They didn't even get the top 8. I know they played a rotated team in that game, but still, they have not won in 7 games. We are one of the most informed teams on the planet right now. You know exactly what's going to happen on Wednesday night.
1-0 Villa win.
Oh, mate, I'll take it. But you know what's going to happen, man. It's just the way football works. They're our bogey team. We can't seem to break three at the back down. I have sensed the only thing giving me a bit of confidence is that I have sensed a shift in Villa's mindset this season with the fact of we don't care who you are, we will beat you. In the sense of Arsenal at home, Chelsea away, where it's just a never say die attitude. And I think Tielemans' level has gone up surprisingly from the heights he was at. Kamara has gone up. Rodgers has been unbelievable. Lindelof has been a superb. You know, if you look at arguably our fourth best centre half, people say at the start of the season, he would get into most teams. Well, I say most teams. He would get into probably a good 65% of teams in the league. So it's like we have players on form right now. Unai Emery seems the Chelsea game was he often gets criticised for not having a plan B. Well, my old man's a big advocate for that. So's Aaron. He put that all to bed away at Chelsea because we got battered in the first half, probably worse than what we did with Forest in the first half yesterday. And second half, we absolutely battered Chelsea, and he switched things around, and he was stretching the play with. Well, it was really when Watkins, Sancho, and Onana came on. He stretched the play, which basically gave freedom for the boys in the middle. He noticed that, fixed it, bang, done. I'm really, really hoping that he has figured out a way to beat Glasner because that is the one. There's two things that I hold against Emery so far since his reign, is that he hasn't been able to. Well, I mean, he has beaten Glasner, but in recent times, like they've beaten us last 4 times, I think. They've beaten us last 4 times. He has Emery's number. So one thing was, can Emery kind of get over this little thing going on with Glasner, and the other thing was about beating Liverpool because I think he's beating every team apart from Liverpool. I think so. About beating Liverpool is the other thing I got in mind. But for Wednesday night, it's trying to get over Glasner's three at the back because they beat us every. Like it just feels like it's just so draining. And do you remember we beat them 3-1 at home? We had to score three. It was like the 87th, 92nd. And 95th minute we had to score. It's just like we have to. It's just never easy. And I know on Wednesday it's not going to be easy. And it's just going to be so hard, man. I'm not like it's. I still have PTSD from that Wembley trip we done in May or April time. It was just so bad.
I looked today. They've actually, I think Chris Richards is good, and Jefferson Lerman's been playing as a right centre back. He went off after 38 minutes. I don't know if that's injury related, but they brought on that caveat that we were linked with in the summer.
JD Kanya, Canvots, Canyots. Yeah, I know you're on about. Yeah.
I don't know if Lerman's injured or not. Munoz is obviously out injured, and Nathaniel Close.
No
Sorry, this cough is just killing me off. And no Sarr, which, if there was ever a time to play Palace, would be no Ismail Sarr playing because he absolutely loves playing against Villa, always scores against us. So I don't know. I see it as maybe it's a good time to play. I think you're right in what you said. There's a shift in mentality this season since we run. Just seems to be a shift in mentality. Emery looks, not angry, but like he really wants to shove two fingers up at everybody other than anyone surrounded with Villa. He his reaction to when we lost against Arsenal, not shaking Arteta's hand or anything like that. It's like he's really got the blinkers on. Just he wants to just get shit done. That's the kind of way that I feel that him. He wants to really make a nuisance of Villa making a nuisance of himself. I think from a fan point of view, if we can get a result, I'd even take a point at Palace. But like I said, their current run 7 and 1 for 7 games. I think it's probably a good time to play him. I think Brennan Johnson played today. I think he's not a bad signing for them.
His first contribution was getting booked.
Well, I didn't see how he got on, but
yeah.
I think if there's ever a good time to play him, it would be now. I said no Sarr, no Munoz. Munoz is probably the best right wing back in the league. I think he's class. That's their whole right side that's kind of affected at the moment with no Richards or Lerma potentially. So we'll have to wait and see. But from a Villa point of view, similar 11, or do you think he'll maybe change it up, someone like a Marlon or a Sancho starting? Or
It could be. I mean, it's a big game. I don't see him doing too many. I mean, I think I like to see Ollie from the start just because of the back three. Marlon, obviously, we spoke about before, especially against a back three, you won't be able to occupy that. You won't be able to occupy your back three. I wouldn't mind seeing Matson come in. Was it Luca Dean? Sorry, come in. As obviously everyone played quite well. I'm really picking at straws here, but I wouldn't mind a Luca Dean coming in. I didn't think Matson was superb. I thought he played okay, but the constant rotation is inevitable with them two. Imagine it will still be the two centre halves. Cashew will play, obviously. Same with Kamara because of the suspension they held against Arsenal, so they're still relatively fresh. Thielen.
Sorry to interrupt you. The ones that are up for grabs are Dina Matson, Buendia, Sancho, and then I think he'll start Ollie regardless at the moment.
Yeah.
Form, so I think it's only them two positions that he change.
The only thing he can do is put Rodgers out on the left, McGinn on the right, and go the 2 9s against the three at the back. Maybe he could do that. Whether or not he does, I don't know. But obviously, the problem with that is that you lose a body on transition in the middle where Rodgers would usually be, and you'd have no Onana in the middle who covers a lot of ground in holding midfield. So that's maybe a reason they might not. It's just me kind of looking at it from a tactical perspective. But you could see the 2 9s.
Would he go with Marlon just because every time we play Palace in recent time, Adam Morton just dictates the game? So would we get someone in around him? But like you said earlier, hopefully Emery's actually to come up with a bit of a plan to stop Glasner.
It's Wharton. It's obviously Munoz is good, but he's not there. It's Wharton. Obviously, Sarr's not there either. Wharton. It's Hughes. Hughes is actually so underrated.
Yeah, decent.
Pino has been a really good signing from him. I know Mateta's a bit hit and miss, but he always scores against us. But Pino has been really good for him this season. Keep it away from Gahey. He's one of the best centre halves in the league. Keep it away from his side. But yeah, it's just
See, I think Lacroix, whatever his name is,
yeah.
I think you can get him because he looks okay, but he looks like he can never run.
Oh no! The thing is that he's actually really quick. Anyone that plays FIFA knows that he's absolutely rapid. But he, I know what you mean. It's looks like an awkward footballer. Like, I'm not comparing the two in the football ability, but the way they kind of you look at them. Chris Samba. Like you just think he looks very awkward.
Like he's got bad knees.
Yeah. I know where you're coming from.
Right, give me a score prediction.
Palace tough away. I always go Villa win. I'm going to continue this trend. I'm going to go for a 2-0 just because they haven't got Sarr and Munoz playing, because Sarr always scores against us and Munoz is, like he says, one of the best right wing backs in the league, if not the best. So him not being there is a big thing. I'll go 2-0.
Yeah, I'm gonna go hard fought 1-0. I think we've all got a lot of respect for Palace. I think when we speak about a lot of their players, you put them in individually and very high up in each category. Henderson in goal, Gay at the back, Munoz, Wharton. Like I said, Pino's a good signing. Mateta maybe hasn't been as good this season as last season, but he's still one of the most effective strikers in the league. So if we can get a 1-0 win or something like that, and just, I don't actually know what the other fixtures are, but like I said, this weekend, really the fixtures are kind of gone.
It's FA Cup in it this weekend. We're away at Tottenham on the box at R5.
Sorry, I meant the ones in the week, like.
Sorry.
Playing who for like this round of fixtures, but
I don't know either.
In terms of this week, they've kind of gone our way. So if we can have another week going into FA Cup weekend where we've
We'll
picked,
probably rotate.
and then rotate against Spurs. But yeah, it will be tough. But fingers crossed, we'll be back.
Hopefully see Allison in the matchday squad for Wednesday as well. Hopefully, so.
Yeah, he would have had a couple of days maybe to do a bit of training when he will have to just wait and see. Obviously, the only other main link that we're getting at the moment is Mamouche from City.
City.
But there's not really much else. But we'll probably do a little transfer show instead of talking about individual people.
Yeah.
That'll do us. You want to touch on anything else?
The only thing on Marmouche is that I'd take it, even if it was a straight loan. If it got us, still competing for the title from January onwards, I'd take it, even with an option to buy. Like we saw the effect we had with Asensio and Rashford last season. Even Disassi, I know he weren't the greatest in the end, but he had a really good start. Away at Brentford was the pick of the bunch for me. He got man of the match, I think, that game at right back. But I would take Marmouche, can operate out wide, off a volley, or Marlon up front. So yeah, I'll take Marmouche if it got like a straight loan, or again with an option to buy. I don't think they'd do that though, but if it was,
I would take him. I just can't see City wanting to strike. I put it on the group. Can't see City wanting to strengthen Villa, but who knows? Strange things happen with. Right, that'll do. Thanks for watching, and yeah, another 3 points Villa, and we'll be back. All that's left to say is no quiz, so both get a point.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, up the Villa. See you next time.